enjoying the first day of the festival? Yeah? Seen some good movies? Great, great. Well, thank you very much for being here tonight at this very special film, a world premiere of a movie that I think will generate a lot of discussion and hopefully some action. Without further ado, let me introduce to you the two-person filmmaking crew. And one of them is someone who has I've known for many years. He worked on Bowling for Columbine, he worked on Fahrenheit 9/11, and then he decided he was going to make his own film. And this is his debut movie tonight. You will hear his producer is from Southwest Michigan, now via San Francisco, California. His name is Ozzie Zahner, and the director and writer and editor and cinematographer of tonight's film, Mr. Jeff Gibbs. Jeff and Ozzie.
Thanks so much. I'm just so amazed that everybody's here. We've been making this film, and it's a Northern Michigan product, and I think tonight is a time for Northern Michigan to consider changing the world. So, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much, everyone. We appreciate you coming.
All right, so listen, please stick around afterwards. This is one of these 90-minute films, so stick around for the Q&A afterwards. We think it'll be well worth. They want to hear your reaction, ask questions, and we'll maybe have even a couple of surprises. Somebody told me on the way in that we have actually a special guest with us tonight. John, are you here? John, Michael down there, are you here somewhere? Where are you guys at? Right there? And John? Ladies and gentlemen, with us tonight watching this world premiere is someone of our age. We are so grateful to him as a Michigander. He is responsible for exposing the fact that the activists and people who protested were being spied on. Remember the Michigan Red Squad? He thought that people shouldn't be put in prison for using marijuana. He was the manager of the MC5. And he is a poet, and he graduated from the same high school that Jeff and I graduated from, Davison High School in Genesee County. But you know him as the great and wonderful John Sinclair. John! Way in the back. Thank you for all that you've done for all of us. And let's enjoy this movie. Enjoy may be the wrong word, but that's why we go to the movies, right? Right? And that's why we're all here tonight. So thank you very much. Stick around afterwards, and we'll come back out on the stage and see you then. Thank you, everybody. Please welcome back to the stage, Jeff Gibbs and Ozzie Zahner. Wow. Okay, so before everybody leaves the theater to go kill themselves, I've watched you and Ozzie for a few years now put this together. It took, I thought, a lot of courage because you were going to go after people we love.
and groups that we love. And we've all sort of believed a certain way for a long time that we need more of this that the other side tries to stop. To sit here and watch this and have to deal with the fact that what you're saying is that perhaps otherwise well-intentioned people and groups have led us so far down the wrong path that the 350 parts per whatever it is of carbon is now at 415. So we've already passed what Bill McKibben told us when he came here to Central Grade School 10 years ago, that if we went past 350, that's it for the planet. We're at 415 now. And I'm sick after watching this again now. Think about perhaps the time that we've lost. And what the fuck do we do? And I'm a believer of making documentary films where it's enough that you tell us the problem. You don't have to have the solution. The doctor says, you want the doctor to tell you if you have cancer, that you have cancer. Even if the doctor doesn't have the cure for cancer. So I support documentary filmmakers that do that. But I know it's probably the question in everyone's mind right now, because you have now shown us an awful truth that many will want to go Google to see if this is really the case. And in your book, Ozzy, Green Illusions, which I've read, it's just one sad page after another of how we, otherwise intelligent people, could be, that we just accept things because we're told that this will save us. I turn it over to you.
Well, first of all, thank everybody for being here. This is just amazing. We made this with just ourselves and a handful of people. Chris Enzi is here, co-producer, filmed a lot of the film. Sister Valerie's co-producer. Dave Paxson, co-producer. Angela Vargas, editor. It's just really been a labor of love and sacrifice in a lot of ways. And I guess what I wanted to do was not to have all the answers, but to just come to terms with where maybe we're asking the wrong questions. And sometimes it takes a reset to really make progress. And I trust that if we, all of us, begin to ask the right questions, not when we're going to buy more solar panels or buy more electric cars, but when are we going to get a grip on who we are as a species, we're just so far out of balance. And once I realized that, I just felt driven to try and tell a story that would get us in touch with what is the real state of things. So I'm kind of, we've been working days on end. We were up all night the last few nights just getting this ready. This is the second time. We just watched this for the first time last night.
This morning.
This morning, actually, yeah.
It was 2 in the morning.
And I asked Chris, I said, do you think we can tweak one more thing? It's like, oh, that's it. But I'm actually feeling really good right now because I am very optimistic that if we go through the darkness, we have a chance. But if we avoid it, we have no chance at all.
Right.
And the fantasies that we live in sometimes help us escape. We need that, and then there's a time when we have to look in the mirror. So,
Anything you want to add to that, Ozzy?
Well, thank you again for everyone for coming, and just a reminder that it's not just about the billionaires, it's also a large degree about us, because there are two parties in the con. The person who's doing the con and the person who's believing it. And I'd just like to remind us, I remind myself all the time that there's two sides to a mistruth.
But what you don't understand is that every time we drive down US 31, heading toward Interlaken, and we see that field of solar panels, how just a little bit better we feel about the hope, possibly, for the future, right? When you look over, when you turn and you look, You know, even if it's just that one big ass windmill up by Channel 7 and 4. You know, doesn't it feel good to drive by on the days it's actually moving? Isn't every day, but, you know, yes, I know, but there is this, I think it's gotta be a human thing where we're just trying to grasp onto anything we can to help us believe that we're not doomed. And especially we who come from the John Sinclair generation, that we are not leaving this planet to our kids and our grandkids. And we're not handing them their death, which deep down, you know, and wherever that place is in our head where we kind of know maybe we are, and we can't live with ourselves, it's that same place that deep down in our brain where we don't say it out loud, what could happen next year, in next year's election. We don't want to say it, but we know, at least having seen it once, it could happen again.
Right.
But we know it could now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now what you've shown us here is what could, not only what could, what actually may be happening. And I'm so angry and upset at the same time.
You know, last year when we were working on, on Fahrenheit 11.9, I kept thinking, these are bookends, because as much as I'm worried about climate change, we're not paying attention that ecosystems, biodiversity, things are collapsing across the planet. And as humans get more stressed, you get right-wing dictators, and you get this tribal tension and this hate, and you get migrants around the planet. And I'm just like, these movies are about the same story. And we don't see the connection between Trump and the right-wing dictator in Brazil. That as people, so it just really kind of pained me in a way that we were out cheering for things that I believed in, that even if they worked, even if solar panels and wind turbines worked, they're not going to stop this general overall decline of the planet and us with it. And I think it's really been moving the last few months to see, has anyone heard of the Extinction Rebellion? The young people are forming groups, they actually use the word extinction. That's a change. There's a change going on where even though the economy is relatively supposed to be okay, you can feel that something's not right.